So the first question I always get is, why do you cast? Why would you want to do that? Obviously, yeah, there's a learning curve. You are going to need some special tools. So there's going to be a little bit of a financial investment for you. But once you're set up, really the only thing you're replenishing is your resin. So that's a lot of fun. It can be a little messy, but it's totally worth it. So the one thing about resin that I like, it allows me to use items that I would normally throw away. The most common is worthless wood, as they call it. Worthless wood is usually a live edge burl, something like this, that's too small in its own to turn down and make a lot out of, especially if we're into larger casting. So what we do is we construct a mold that holds this, and we pour resin over it, and then it allows us to come up with something like this. So in this one, it was some olive wood, Russian olive wood that was given to me, and it was cracked. A lot of voids in it, as you can see. So the resin allows us to fill the voids. And even if we weren't just casting a large block, if we had something that had voids in it, we're able to use the resin to fill those voids and make something a little nicer, a little more usable without having a big crack in it. But it also allows us to take something, cast into a usable state so that we can turn this down into an object, and we get what they call a hybrid, half resin, half wood. So depending on the wood, you may have to stabilize it. That's a different process. I won't go real deep into it, but basically what that is you replace the air in the wood with a much thinner resin, and then you bake it in the oven to solidify it to make it usable. So that way you have equal density in your material, and it's a little easier to turn. But it allows you to use products that we would normally throw away. Like this was a large piece of cactus given by Dick Singh, and it was real punky and kind of crumbling, falling apart. So I put it in a stabilizing tank, and then I cast it and came up with this nice block to be able to turn. Now obviously what you're going to have to do is clean a lot of these objects too. But some other examples of applying resin to our wood turnings, the globes. You see a lot of people making globes with little figures in them. This one happens to be the Grogu character from the Star Wars episodes. And so obviously we see most of this in our pen blanks. In the pen world, we do a lot of casting because we don't need a lot of it. We can do something a little smaller, and we're actually going to reinforce it by putting brass tubes in it. So we give it the strength it needs when we cast it, so we're able to turn it and have something usable. But it doesn't mean you can't use it in larger things like bottle stoppers or turning handles. It's just coming up with a mold, and I'll show you what I use in a little bit. Another thing, it allows us to recycle items, right? It allows us to take things, say, like a wristwatch, disassemble it, bend it around our tubes, create a background, and cast that in clear resin, and come up with objects. Playing cards, that's another one. This is a pen blank that I created for a longer style pen, and I used this card because it had all the colors going on and it was something kind of cool. So besides things like that, anything you can dry. Pine cones, snake skins, colored pencils, anything Mother Nature provides us in the wild. We just have to make sure we dry it real well. Here's a few examples of that. Split peas, colored pencils. Obviously, one of my favorites is cherry pits, and this is a block. This can be either turned into something shallow like a dish, or cut into strips and make pens out of them. But cherry pits are another idea. And again, it just falls into that category of Mother Nature objects. You just have to make sure you dry them real well. I do a lot of small turning stuff. I don't do a lot of larger things, so I enjoy the small things like the bangle bracelets. And this was made from this cactus, and I just cut it to the width that I needed, and then I fixed it in a mold, cast it, turned it, and assembled it. So those are fun. Obviously, dried flowers is another thing. You make bottle stoppers and and whatnot. Another example of the cherry pits in this bottle stopper. And it's just casting these small blanks. And you could use this for anything. This could be a small lidded box that we turn down and thread, something to put rings in, you know, whatever your imagination, let it run wild a little bit there with your casts. The best thing about casting, it allows us to use our imagination. Everybody says, oh, everything's already been done, all the cool stuff's already been made, and to that I say, bull. There's so many new ideas out there. Even if it's something you've already seen and you want to put your own take on it, you know, you want to add your own little touch to it. There's so many things that can be improved or done differently, and we just need somebody with different ideas to approach it. So maybe that's you. Here's a few more ideas for you. Be sure to subscribe and stop back for more here at Underhill Creations and Casting Solutions. I'm John. Thanks for stopping by.